and Yachweiler.
The legend himself,
coming out in the jungle,
bringing out the German ethnicity.
I'm going to say that he is a Yeti. Call him Yeti, and hope to God, since he is jungler, that he is bringing out the new. And F you, Leave Buster. That is true. I like to leave games just as much as the next guy. The target ban's coming out again. If the past holds true, we will see a Fizz. It is true. The first pick, Sejuani, will not be had by Yachweiler. And so far, we are seeing pretty consistent bans from both games.
And
Caitlyn coming out.
Do you think that these substitutions are a response to the pretty disappointing loss there at the end of that game?
If I had to guess, I would say it's simply because of the fact that this game needed to be scheduled, and they did the best they could with what they had, knowing that they have 10 members, and they wanted to play their starting roster first, but maybe people have IRL commitments. I'm not sure. Regardless, I think that the substitutions will give them a fresh outlook.
Yes, definitely.
The only returning member, from what I can see, is DJox. Am I correct in that statement?
Yeah, and he's moved from support to mid, so going to be very different. But the Nidalee banned away from Crumpy this game, just not wanting to deal with that again.
That's a good ban, I think. Crumpy definitely dominated the early mid game on that. Excuse me, the Nidalee. It took a few minutes to take off, but it did show up in huge fashion. General Dill taking the Xayah for his AD carry front lash, not running the Jinx this game, instead getting that Xayah, and Crumpy getting the Jarvan. I believe he was playing Jarvan last game as well. Am I correct?
No, Jarvan was on the
I'm
side,
sorry.
yeah.
Crumpy was Nidalee. I apologize. They are going to lock in the Braum. Oh, actually, I lied. They're not going to
I would
take
like
Braum.
the Rammus here. Yeah, great pickup.
Yachweiler taking Rammus, and it looks like they are hovering the Kalista. I think that's going to be a Kalista pick. Call me a liar. I'm not sure.
That's Karthus.
I don't think you take Karthus.
Yeah, I don't
here.
think so either.
Especially not this early into the draft, considering he's not a contested pick. Maybe they do.
But DJox, the Azir coming out.
The blind Azir, growing a set of man hairs and willing to go blind with this Azir. A lot of people saying it is top tier, borderline broken tier on this patch. However, not sure that I would take it as a blind pick. However, I'm not a mid lane player mage, so I don't know. The response is a I shouldn't say quick, but a well thought out Yasuo. We are on to the second stage of bans, as General Dill dictates that Vayne must be taken off the table. Pokahia will not get that pick for this game. If I am on the sides of the Fire Chickens, I would assume that they're going to be targeting top lane here, or maybe pinch the support pool. Soraka, as we stated last game, a member of the three. The three triad, the three supports that are huge right now. Rakan also kind of in that realm as well. But I am actually surprised that they pinched the support pool here. I would think that they would pinch top lane. General Dill must have a deep showing in his champion pool.
Yeah, and also you never know if the Jarvan is going to be going top or jungle, so those flex picks make it difficult to know which role to ban out. So the support ban's a little bit understandable, and Rakan a pretty big playmaker.
They do ban out the Kalista, highlighting Kalista by DJox, and bamboozling me. We got NyQuil in the chat representing his team. I'm representing him right now. They bamboozled me. They're really good at throwing me off the trail. DJox hovering that pick, really impacting me, and they get rid of
Malphite.
Malphite of all things.
Well, the Yasuo has been locked in, so they're definitely trying to remove the Rakan and the Malphite as knock-up options, and the Galio coming out, which in itself is another knock-up option for the Yasuo.
I agree, and if you look at the biggest synergies to 2 Yasuo. I would say Malphite is number 2, but number 1, and it's gotten through so far, is Nami. Nami is probably, at least in my opinion, the most reliable form of initiation for the Yasuo, and the fact that the tidal wave can be launched from very far away can get him the knock-up, and then the slow auto attack procs on his Q is able to get him in and out of the fight. The Gnar lock-in for the top lane of FU Leaf Buster, going to hopefully go toe-to-toe with the, I would assume that's going to be a Galio top lane. So a good pickup here is he won't likely be stacking MR. Hovering the Thresh pick, and the Thresh is locked in by Cathy.
Yeah, another good champion to go along with the Yasuo. The Flay is a very short range knock-up for the Yasuo, so whenever Thresh hooks someone, you get the guaranteed Yasuo ultimate. But one thing to highlight here is that the damage coming out from the side of Ting SKRA this game is very highly going to be attack damage, and Rammus is an armor stacker.
You know, regardless of the outcome of this game, I'm going to tell you right now that I am going to have so much fun with this Rammus and...
Yachtweiler!
Yeah, oh, that was so good! Yachtweiler! I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not, but I'm channeling my inner freak right now. Mantanaya!
We do have some... in the Twitch chat, we have a fan. We have... what is his name? King420 asking you to keep saying the name of Rammus, the player's name.
Well, in game, whenever we're calling the game, I'm promised chat that I will do my best to say Yachtweiler, but I don't know if it'll actually come off the tongue or not. Hopefully that gives me enough energy and enough an emotion in my voice. Please go Ting goes SKRA just once. Ting goes, what do you mean please go Ting goes SKRA? I don't understand what you mean.
Have you seen the video? It's from a video where this rapper goes Dingo SKRA or something like that.
I have no idea, dude. My pop culture understanding is so bad. Yeah, he's flaming me now in chat. Oh my god, you don't know the meme. I really don't. Ting goes SKRA. I'm very severely tongue-tied. For people who know me in real life, I think the only person that knows me in real life on this tournament is level 98 Geodude. I am extremely tongue-tied, and it affects the way I speak, so some people think that I sound like a stoner whenever I talk and say certain words, especially R's. But I can't rule my tongue, so whenever you say oh, that was actually pretty decent. Yeah, I can't do that. So Yachtweiler is going to be kind of hard for me, and Pokahia. He is going to be entertaining as well. Shocking Light, there's really no entertaining value on that name. And D-Jogs probably need to change their names. Get some entertainment value on the side of SKRA. No, that's the Fire Chickens, excuse me. SKRA with General Deal. Is that Deal or Dill, you think? I'm going to say it's Dill.
I think it's Dill. General
Dill leading his crony posse that is the Ting goes SKRA. Trumpy going to be diving into the back line with the hero's entrance, excuse me, likely being the only kind of proc that Prankster King has to go off of with the knockup. Front Lash is going to be dealing a lot of damage with the Featherstorm if left unchecked with the Blade Call. And Cathy, I'm not sure about what the Thresh picks brings to this, other than maybe just a little bit of peel for the Xayah. Maybe that's all they need.
Yeah, with Rammus coming in, it's going to be helpful to have that Flayed to maybe get the taunt a little bit farther away.
Oh yeah, you're right, because taunt is a channeled ability now. Huh?
Yeah, I believe so. So I think it's interruptible.
Okay, yeah, and if that's the case, then I see it now. Gnar and the side of the Fire Chickens have drafted an interesting comp here, as they seem to have drafted a heavy team fight comp in the fact that they have Azir, Gnar, and Tristana. But the Rammus pick kind of throws me off because he's really good at single target deletion, whereas they really don't have any additional single target deletion in that fact. I feel like if you want to run something like a Rammus, you want something like maybe a Syndra or a Vigar, something that can follow up and 100 to 0 somebody instantaneously. But maybe they've been practicing this composition. Maybe I am unaware of some information that they do not, or they have that I am not aware of. Nonetheless, going to be a fun game as we get the black screen that signifies I have crashed. And I am just kidding. The black screen goes away. The portraits pop up, and we are loading in for game 2 of what is it? SKRA goes Ting.
No, Ting goes SKRA.
Ting goes SKRA versus the Fire Chickens, and I am going to have so much fun this game, Mage.
Yeah, I am too. And one thing that I'm going to be looking for is for Jagdweiler on this Rammus to put some early pressure on the bot lane, because the bot lane is the main area where Fire Chickens got the advantage last game. Shadowbot and Djox, even though they were two different players than this game, they were able to get a pretty big CS lead against Frontlash and Cathy, so I'm going to look for them to kind of focus that area, and the Rammus should be pretty good in the early game.
Unfortunately, Jagdweiler, with the connection from Germany, is there he connects.
Yeah, he's overseas, so
the overseas connection from Riot EU finally coming up big. Hopefully his ping is not an issue, as he's probably experienced playing with 130 ping. He's already master tier in EU. For those of you who don't know his EU West account, its name is Kikis. He is the old jungler for Unicorns of Love, currently looking for a new team. Hopefully you can give Jagdweiler a look up and give him a shout out.
Yeah, definitely. That's why he's rocking the TSM icon. He's totally betraying his homeland of Germany, and he really wants to come over to NA and find an opportunity here, replacing SKRA, the hyped up but never providing results jungler.
That's actually ingenious. I'm gonna be real here. That's actually ingenious. Flying under the radar, saying TSM, notice me, please. I got a cool, unique name. I tried to say cool, unique in one word that came out queef. Cool,
wow.
Unique.
This
name.
stream is no longer PG-13.
And suddenly we are getting into game as the Rift is now entering into the game. We have 5 unique champions on each side about to do battle on the Summoner's Rift. Hey, Leave Buster, we flexed versus you 3 weeks ago. They were talking friendly in the chat.
A little too friendly, if you ask me, because I think that he's saying that we beat you in flex and you were absolute garbage.
Oh. Wait, did he say absolute garbage? I didn't see that.
He did not, but it was implied.
Oh, but it was implied. Okay. We have a death bush being set up here by SKRA, looking to hopefully get a pick with Cathy. Hasn't started a skill yet, but no actual kills are going to come from it, as the Fire Chickens elect to take a more standard line of scrimmage start. He had a challenger as jungle. That's unfortunate whenever you're playing Flex Q and you go up against somebody who's trying to boost somebody else because they can't earn their own end of season rewards. Mage, I'll tell you what, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me.
Yeah, and let me I think that all of us are capable of doing it. I actually, little self plug here, I reached plat today after
Did you?
After a climb. I did, yep.
Oh my god, dude.
3-0 in my series. 2 games
Heck
with Cassidy.
Yeah, that's my boy. That's my friend right there.
Yeah,
Mage Man coming up plat just before the season ends. Hopefully going to get to at least the gates of Diamond before the season ends.
That is a tall order. I could probably get to plat 4, but I could also probably feed back down to gold. So I probably will not be playing.
Well, with that, we have even buff starts here as the respective bot lanes are assisting their junglers in this take. Crumpy is able to get the buff a little bit faster than Rammus, who only just now gets it and is on to his second camp. Rammus electing to go to maybe his blue buff or wolves, as Crumpy is taking wolves already.
Yeah, Rammus pretty good at those AoE camps, and it looks like he will go ahead and path up to blue buff, but in terms of the raids and the wolves, Rammus with his W able to take this pretty easily.
And who do you give the jungle pressure to early?
Definitely going to give it to Crumpy early on, just in the fact that he could probably duel the Rammus if he caught him out in the jungle. And he has that mobility to jump over walls, but Djox taken pretty low in the mid lane.
Yeah, Prankster King showing up pretty big. Oh, the hook lands onto Tristana. The Flay is there. They have the level 2 power spike. It's not just a meme from Cutie Pie. The Ignite goes down, and Pokahia is taken down by the bot lane as Rammus is caught out.
Yeah,
here,
here's that
level
early
2
jungle
against
pressure I
level
was talking
3,
about.
and he gets taunted. He flashes, and Crumpy flashes the as well, and the boomerang blade misses onto Crumpy. He tower dives. He does claim the kill, and Prankster is looking to light up the likes of D-Jox as the game is only 3 minutes in, and 2 kills have been claimed by the side of the SKRA, and Prankster King on the wrong side of the map here goes a little bit too far. D-Jox claims his kill, and the brokenness that is Azir is off to the races, Mage.
Yeah, and Prankster King there really disrespectful. He didn't have his Ignite up, but he was trying to bait D-Jox out of tower range and take him down. Ends up losing his life for it, and Crumpy will come to pick up the shattered pieces of what was once an even mid lane.
And with that kill, they're able to hopefully stop some form of the bleeding that is coming out. The hook does not land. It goes wide on Shocking Light. That hook had to have been a kill had it landed. Leaf Buster does not get the wallop and is forced to jump away. Is looking to auto this wave. No real action coming out of the bot lane. I lied. Crumpy is coming in. He knows that Gnar is exhausted. The slow comes out. The taunt, the flash is knocked back by the flag and drag, and Leaf Buster is claimed. Now 1-0-1 on this Jarvan.
Yeah, and there's the early jungle pressure. Rammus is not able to match it too well just because of his clear time, especially not as great as Jarvan's.
Unfortunately, Crumpy showing why he is a very aggressive jungler in this tournament, going rounds about his jungle as well as the jungle that is Rammus's. He has made 2 ganks now and is even in farm against Rammus, who is now trying to take Krugs. King is in the mid lane looking to try and poke down Azir, is fighting in a minion line and against the Sand Soldiers, Arise, and the Conquering Sands is casted, but is actually stopped by the Windwell. Doesn't get any procs, and Crumpy is looking to make a play. He drops the flag. The swag flag comes out, and no real damage.
Coming out of Crumpy there.
Meanwhile, bot lane, we have a 14 CS advantage, Mage.
Wow, we do, and like we said last game, Frontlash and Cathy were on the back foot, but this game, starting with the Cull and in the lead in CS, it's just an amazing start because you get that gold advantage as well from the CS and from the Cull.
Unfortunately, it just seems like the game has already spiraled somewhat out of control for the likes of Fire Chickens. They need to take a deep breath and get a handle on this game before it becomes too strong and the SKRA is able to go off. I have faith in this Azir, though, who is able to poke down Prankster King now, even in CS, though, with this Yasuo against the Azir. Pokahia unable to farm because of his passive and the fact that Frontlash is constantly pushing this wave into tower.
Yeah, and Yoxviler here was looking for a gank up top, but wasn't able to find anything. Cathy goes mid, but will not find the hook onto D-Jox.
Oh, Leaf Buster leaps in, gets the cannon, gets the auto on that minion. Kill it because he cancels the auto in favor of the rock throw. Cathy is clearing a pink ward, shows himself, and the bot lane of Fire Chickens know that he's not there, so they decide to push up and zone the Xayah off of some CS. The hook goes wide onto D-Jox's Azir, and no real advantage is made out of this roam.
Yeah, just getting a bit of pressure on that mid to top side of the map, but they do lose a bit of the pressure they had built up in bot lane. Frontlash is going to be happy to just keep his farm advantage, though, and keep farming up. Xayah pretty good at the 1v2 because of her range on her abilities.
And like you said, she only has a call, and she's still winning the lane despite going up against somebody who has a Doran's blade. Still, like I said, being able to bully out this Tristana. Pokahia has not yet shown signs that he is willing to push back against the indomitable force that is Frontlash.
Yeah, and Prankster King, although he had that early death, still keeping up in CS, and Yasuo is a champion that, as everybody is well aware, will scale into the late game. But Azir also, with the new buffs, going to scale pretty well himself.
Yeah, Yoxviler might need some help with this red buff. Buddy, you're going a little bit low here. Mites it, but is still looking to try and take it. The health bar is blinking right now.
Yeah, he says in Germany we don't use health potions. We take these buffs like a man in Germany.
Oh, that is so true. I didn't think about that, but that is so true. In Germany, they don't buy health potions because they are unnecessary. Shocking Light clearing out vision of the bot lane Tribush as they're trying to take an
Ooh,
early
the
dragon
Shurima
here.
shuffle coming out of Djox, the mechanical god who plays support for some reason.
And the Azir pick coming up big in this lane as they claim the Infernal Dragon.
Oh, Crumpy!
Crumpy flashes into the wall. Shocking Light gets a good flash. Crump.
Yeah, Crump.
We're just Earth. Oh, he calls it in chat lag. Okay. Good call by Crumpy.
Yeah, we know he was lagging.
We've all had the lag.
Yep.
Yeah, we've all had that lag. However, we might see a pause come out here for the lag. The hook lands on Tristana. The Flay does not cancel the jump though. And Yakfila looking for blood in the bot lane. Front Lash getting blown up by the explosive shot actually. Takes the lantern and blows up Cathy as well. Good guy Front Lash sharing the bruising damage that is the explosive shot. And Djox is starting to push back Prankster now. Crumpy taking the red buff is on the top side of the map. Might be looking to make a play on Gnar Mage.
Yeah, and you can tell that Crumpy, with his very early invade and kill onto Yachtweiler, has been able to really stunt any early game pressure from that Rammus.
Oh, Shocking Light a little bit caught out here by Cathy.
Yeah, and doesn't have to flash.
The hook did not get thrown. Yasuo was on his way. The lantern probably could have secured the kill. However, no aggression is decided to be followed up. The Conquering Sands is casted, pops that shield, and we have another jungle fight in the bot lane. Yachtweiler is level 6. He does have ultimate. Deflects not to use it. Oh, the Cataclysm is dropped right
100
as...
to 0. The poor Yachtweiler. But Djox wants some of this. Teleport comes out.
Has to flash out as the teleport is summoned. Completed by General Dill. Djox looking to hopefully make some retaliation poke. Unfortunately, loses his flash for the teleport from the top laner of SKRA. No real advantage gained from Djox's aggression towards Crumpy, as Crumpy now claims the blue buff that once belonged to Djox and Yachtweiler.
Yeah, and that's gonna hurt on Azir, especially into the Yasuo who doesn't need the blue buff. He's resourceless, so gonna be difficult for Azir to sustain that lane against him.
And unfortunately, the bot lane is not looking any better, as Pokahia has fallen now to about 30 CS behind, unable to sustain against Front Lash, and it just seems like it's a slow bleed in every lane for the Fire Chickens.
Yeah, and this advantage for Front Lash has gone so far as to allow Cathy to roam most of this game, just 1v2ing without any issues. The BF sword and the 2 longswords completed.
And unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation whenever you pick Janna. I mean, they shouldn't be respecting this much, but you don't have as much lane pressure as you would if you would have like a fully aggressive support. Janna going to be showing up late game though. Whenever she gets her Ardent Sensor, we have Yachtweiler looking for the play, but the lantern gets him out to safety. Pokahia is able to farm this as the hook goes wide onto Shocking Light.
Yeah, good positioning from Cathy there to have his lantern available to get away from that gank. And Yachtweiler is still hanging around here, but Crumpy as well.
They see the ward. They're clearing the vision now. Tower shot is taken by Front Lash. Excuse me. I am not able to read today. Not only can I not see the colors of the buffs, I cannot read names between Kenny and Crumpy and Front Lash and Frost Lash. I can't do it.
And you can see a lot of respect coming out of Djox here, opting for the Zanyas after the Lost Chapter, or perhaps just the Seeker's Arm Guard, but either way, building some armor against that Yasuo.
We have a big push from General Dill and Prankster King in the mid lane, realizing that Djox is really the only threat as of right now. The rest of the team has yet to come online. A 3-man dive. Crumpy, is looking to make a play. Djox with the shifting sands is able to get himself out. Gnar goes in without a Gnar bar, but Yachtweiler is there, gets canceled by the Cataclysm, and the Rise is summoned. No damage follows though, and Rammus is left crippling the crippling defeat of having to walk into his bot side jungle where there is no farm to be had. Pokahia looking to go 1v1 against Frontlash.
And FU Lever Buster there, he chooses to hop into the Jarvan and the Galio and just has his flash available, but just gives up his life there after completing the teleport.
Cathy is looking for... okay, they don't actually go for the Flay. The Rammus was there. Good idea to back off. Janna gets popped to about half of her health from the Blade Call. She uses the... Oh, the hook goes just wide on Pokahia. Just a little bit longer on that hook, and she would have likely been caught and dead. Rammus is looking to make a play here. Gets flayed, but the taunt is big on Cathy. Pokahia standing still, jumps out. The exhaust comes down onto Frontlash, who flashes and Blade Calls. Yakshvila is looking to go back in here. The explosive shot is dodged by the Featherstorm, and Yakshvila can't get in range. Oh, Shocking Light steps a little bit too far forward, is hooked, but no actually damage comes out. Prankster is thrown into his tower. Good play by Djox. Djox, what a mechanical play. And the huge 1v1 outplay on Prankster King. Djox showing why he should actually be playing mid lane for his team.
Yeah, Djox pretty much the only redeeming factor on the side of Fire Chickens at this stage in the game. Everyone else falling behind their counterparts in terms of CS and in terms of kills here. So Djox gonna have to come up huge in these team fights to keep his team in the game.
Unfortunately, Jarvan looking to take this red buff. Rammus does not have the ability to contest, has fallen now 2 levels to this Jarvan, who is just completely dominating the jungle. Now Crumpy is looking to take the Raptors of Yakshvila and is probably going to be making a move on the red buff. Dragon is up now. It is a Rock Drake, so you know they're going to be starting that mage.
Yeah, and at this point, when your jungler is 2 levels below, there's no hope of winning the smite fight. You usually have to give up objectives in this circumstance.
Unfortunately, Rammus now realizes that his Raptors have been taken. The hook lands on Cathy, or excuse me, Shocking Light, and Cathy goes in. He does flash and get it. Yakshvila from Germany, the smite from downtown, mothers. And Yakshvila goes in, is stopped by the Cataclysm. And the Prankster King Q does claim him, but the redeeming factor there, Yakshvila, they don't teach him how to farm in Europe, but you know what they do teach him how to do? They teach him how to juggle. That's why we have Svenskeren.
And one thing that we forgot to mention is that when you're in Germany, you have the extra 100 damage on your smite to counteract that 2 level advantage.
You cut out what? When you're in Germany, what?
Oh, you have the extra 100 damage on your smite that Jarvan did not get because he's playing in NA, so able to win that smite fight.
Ah, this is true. I was not made aware of that change. The patch notes have not actually been read by me yet. Djox looking to get some poke here. Prankster gets poked by the Arise, drops down to about half health as Frontlash is looking to get this first tower. General Dill and FU Leave Buster looking to trade a few blows here. FU Leave Buster is actually going to probably make out a lot more damage than I would think. Never mind, he is going. The hyper procs are coming in now. Misses the boomerang throw though, and General Dill, the damage coming out. Oh, the Gnar, he Gnars out and throws a building, and a big play from FU Leave Buster. Probably not a fight that General Dill wanted to take. Suddenly, FU Leave Buster showing up for his team too. This is a 2-man threat now between Djox and FU Leave Buster.
Yeah, and the longer Prankster King refuses to build some MR, perhaps Merc Treads or a Hexdrinker, he's going to keep getting absolutely shredded by Djox, who is now 2-0 on the Azir.
Yeah, I think like you said, you need to probably at least pick up the Hexdrinker. But I would say that he doesn't want to do that simply because he's hoping for the fact that they can lock down the Azir and delete him and keep Azir's damage to a minimum. Hopefully just being able to deal damage himself and dance around the team fight. Right now, going bot on this Yasuo, trying to fight Pokahia in the bot lane while Crumpy is being poked down by Azir in the mid lane, who is now level 11.
Yeah, and it looks like General Dill with the has not actually built any magic resistance yet, so will also be pretty susceptible to Djox's damage at this stage of the game.
Djox is starting to hit that Nightmare Zone on Azir. Once he hits level 13 and he has full points in Arise and in his Q, he's dealing a lot of damage. And then once he hits 16, he gets the attack speed buff whenever he has 3 soldiers out. Or is it level 11 mage? You play him, I don't.
Was that the extra soldiers? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it, level 11 or level 16 that he gets the attack speed buff?
Oh, the attack speed buff is when he summons 3 of his soldiers with his W, so that can happen at any point in the game.
Oh, goes in, throws General Dill into the tower. The tower shot is Yachtfila is there with the knockup, and Djox claims a 3rd kill. Now has an hourglass and a lost chapter. Leaf Buster is looking to hopefully defend this tower as Front Lash and Cathy are trying their hardest to push it over. Leaf Buster throws the boomerang out, misses the farm as a result, but does poke them off. And Djox going 1v1 against Prankster King, not afraid of this Yasuo.
Yeah, and he probably shouldn't be at this stage of the game. Just look at the damage he can deal.
Prankster King dropping Yasuo down to about 200 health. The Flay does come out of Thresh, but Crumpy, is in no man's land at this point, gets taunted. The soldiers are up, so is the Shifting Sands. The Tremor Sense is coming out. The Qs from Djox are big. He gets the barrier, and Djox, the hourglass actually saves him from the Q from Crumpy. The barrier and the Shifting Sand, or not the Shifting Sand. Wow,
disrespect from Crumpy.
Djox 5-0-0 on this Azir as Crumpy tries to claim his life. The hook lands onto FU Leaf Buster, but not taken up as they don't think that they have the damage to kill the tower before they kill him. And bot lane does take the top lane tower. Pokahia has also claimed a tower in the bot lane. Things starting to look up for Fire Chickens as they take neutral trades.
Yeah, and the main worry is still on Pokahia on this Tristana, but as time goes on, he'll start to scale. It's going to take him a little bit of time, but Djox and FU Lever Buster might be able to hold out the game until that point.
Tristana going the early Ninja Tabby. I'm not sure if that was necessary or not, as Yasuo is 1-3. Hasn't really started to take off yet. That might be a little bit of a hindrance on her damage. Has the pickaxe, now picks up the static shiv as she's looking to come mid lane. It looks like we're going to have our first true team fight as they meet in the mid lane. I lied, they're going now bot lane as Galio shows to push that bot lane.
And Prankster King finally picks up a Hex Drinker for himself, so might have a bit of an easier time. As there's no magic.
Hook goes very wide. Djox gets out very easily. The teleport from Leaf Buster does come out as Yachtfila wants to fight. The slow is there and the taunt does not actually land. The Featherstorm comes out and saves the life of Front Lash. Djox is looking to put some damage down. He now has 2 items on this Azir. He's hitting that threshold at the point where he is scary. Oh my goodness, he drops Front Lash down to about 100 health. And now they are looking, the siege is on from the Fire Chickens.
Yeah, and you start to wonder, how are they actually going to get to this Azir who is able to use his Shurima Shuffle combo to get away from the Jarvan initiation pretty consistently.
And he has incredibly strong wave clear with the soldiers. 2 soldiers pretty much kill an entire wave. Is now able to Shifting Sands and get them to the front line. Poke down Cathy on this Thresh, and if they don't have a way to lock down the Azir here, it's not likely that they're going to be long for the world. Yachtfila gets caught out by the taunt, is trying to get away, does have Flash, he doesn't use it yet, flashes the wall there, Cathy does jump with him. The healing from Shocking Light is pretty big, but she herself gets taunted by General Dill, and the healing is cancelled, the shield is not enough, and Yachtfila is fallen. They move on to the Ocean Drake. No heroic European seal coming out of the Rammus this time.
Yeah, Yachtfila there getting a little antsy, getting caught out around the Drake, gonna have to give it up for his team without a smite available.
Top lane, FU Leaf Buster, looking to take this tower, likely will off of this wave. He does get it. Galio looking to stop the push, and we have 3 in the mid lane trying to slow the push of Prankster King, who slowly is turning to a split push threat.
And Band, I need to ask your opinion. Djox, a support main, but showing his mechanical prowess on the Azir. Is this true for most supports, including yourself?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I was reading a message, I apologize.
No, you're fine. I was wondering, so Djox, the support main, is showing some mechanical aptitude on this Azir. Is this something that, as a support main, you would say applies to you and some other supports as well?
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, Nyquil can attest to the fact that supports have to have the best mechanics in the game in order to truly carry their team, especially whenever their team is only filled with mid laners who play Ziggs. Not that Vert plays other things, but Whenever we put in our alternate, his name is LP Mageman. We can only play one thing, and that's mid lane Gnar. Hashtag don't ban us out. So yeah, you have to have the mechanical god level skills to farm and make sure that your team gets ahead.
And LP Mageman actually with a pretty decent record on the Gnar in both solo queue and flex queue with this team, coming up huge in those mid lane team fights.
LP Mageman upset because nobody will give him the props he's deserved. Yacht Viola looking to try and put some
German defense on this tower.
Yeah, the taunt actually is too far away. I lied. I thought that Frontlash was going to get taunted there, and the follow-up would have been catastrophic as Leafbuster's the Blade Surge is called upon him again. Djox is looking to maybe 1v1 against Cathy. He does. He uses the Shifting Sands, drops him to about 2/3 of his health. Yakvila healing up very well here, and might actually be looking for a fight as our FU Leafbuster is about 70% Narbar, about to rage out, looking for a fight. Does he have Hop? He does not decide to use it yet, and he does Gnar out with this point. Ram is still hiding in the back. They have this pink. They see that they are there. The Gnar is not, the wallop is missed. The slow from the Shocking Lights Janna connects but doesn't actually cause any meaningful follow-up, and he is now exhausted. Cannot Gnar out for about another 20 seconds.
And General Dill is hanging around, but he does have the teleport available. We'll see if he chooses to head up towards that top lane or if they're just gonna continue this bot lane dance.
And the longer they continue this and stall it out, the longer that Djox is able to get more farm on this Azir. Looking to 1v1 King as the bad guy Dill makes it a 2v1.
Gets the flash from Djox.
Actually, make it a fair fight. Djox does flash out, as you said. Dill taking a little bit of poke for the exchange. Prankster falls to about 1/3 of his health. Is currently healing up to about half now. Djox showing that he is a formidable foe on this pick. Yaxvila looking to hopefully go in and get some kind of taunt off. However, Tristana has not joined the fight yet. Tristana also does not have damage yet, as she only has a pickaxe. Let me see here. She is currently sitting on 1,700 gold. Does have enough for a BF sword, but not yet backing. Hopefully trying to take this tower.
And you can see here that Djox on this Azir is almost 2,000 gold up over Prankster King on the Yasuo. Just 5 kills to his name, 5 out of the 6 kills for his team, and a major reason that they're still in this game.
Yeah, Djox definitely putting the team on his back. Not that FU Leafbuster is doing anything to hinder the team, but Djox is definitely the hard carry for this game. I think if I am the Fire Chickens, I play around the fact that Djox is a massive carry right now. 218 farm at 25 minutes is a very respectable amount of farm on this Azir, as he is looking to hopefully carry his team to a game 3.
And the split push Yasuo coming out from Prankster King here. Not sure who's going to be able to match him in that bot lane. Likely going to be FU Leverbuster though, with that range on his Gnar.
Yeah, and FU Leverbuster also has the teleport as well. I think that's the only reasonable person that can match him. They are sending the combination of Tristana and Yakvila down bot, probably hoping that Yasuo goes a little bit too aggressive, and Yakvila is there with the European Classic, the Death Bush. They do get the bait out. Prankster gets smited. He does not get taunt. There is the taunt. The Pokahia has used his jump, and Pokahia is getting poked out by the Yasuo. The hero's entrance comes out. Leverbuster is trying to get Crumpy, hands the boomerang, and the flash in from Crumpy actually on Shocking Light drops her to about 200 health. She herself has to flash, and they have a huge push bot lane right now.
Yeah, and that left the 3v3 mid lane, but that left the 2v1 bot lane because they were able to kill Pokahia. General Dill's ultimate there were really helpful, but the taunt coming in.
The exchange of taunt. Taunt does land onto Prankster King, but Jarvan joins the fight. Leverbuster is available to Gnar out. The Thresh hook lands onto Gnar. Leverbuster is taunted. No real actual follow-up here, as they don't have much damage here. Yasuo is backing now as we speak. Leverbuster loses his Rage Gene and pushes the wave out one more. As Dragon spawns in 10 seconds, it is going to be a Rock Drake. Hopefully, we can channel the inner Yakvaya and get the Smite fight here. Now, well, I shouldn't say now. Continued 2 levels behind. However, D-Jox 1 level ahead on Prankster King.
Yeah, and I feel like Frontlash getting the mid tower there is pretty crucial because D-Jox was going to be able to hold out that tower and clear waves for quite a while, but he did have to go back to base to pick up that Rylai's. So Frontlash doing a good job of pushing in the wave there.
On the plus side, though, D-Jox finally able to use Shurima's Legacy in that mid lane. Going to be very catastrophic in the fact that you want to be as counter and productive as you can be. You want to let towers fall left and right so you can throw up the Emperor's Tower and watch it rain down living hell upon your opponents. Not sure if that is actually a good strategy or not. I'm going to trademark it in case it ever does become a thing, because you know in Korea the strangest things become a thing. But,
Yasuo!
Yasuo, yeah. But I'm hoping that they are able to... all memes aside, I'm really hoping that the Shurima's Legacy does come out and is able to make a difference in these team fights.
And one thing to point out here is that all 3 damage threats on the side of Tingo SKRA here are attack damage, and the Rammus and Gnar have begun stacking armor.
Oh my goodness, huge damage on the Frontlash.
Ooh, might have to go back to base after that one.
They are pushing this tower. The siege composition of D-Jox and Tristana coming up big on this tower. The historical tower is summoned, and D-Jox looking to poke down Cathy, who gets knocked up by the Twister. Is that what that ability's called? I believe so. And Gallia looking to be at a flank here, uses the Winds of Power. I'm not sure what that was called either. Winds of War, thank you. Disturbing the peace that Fire Chickens have caused in the mid lane right now. We're trading blows back and forth as the soldiers get exclamation marks. They have been founded. They're in Metal Gear Solid land, and they know that they've been alerted to the presence. Cathy is getting poked down super hard as they get down onto Azir.
Ooh, D-Jox goes down!
The hero's entrance knocks up 3 as Yakvaya gets dropped as well. Gnar is there, and they are fighting under. They actually are fighting under the Azir tower, not dealing as much damage as you would think, though, as Pokahia is going to get run down by the Yasuo, and the tornado comes out a 4 for 0 in favor of SKRA. As they look to take the Baron Mage.
And the game plan for SKRA was so clear and simple there. You kill D-Jox, and then you win the team fight because they initiated with everything onto him.
Unfortunately, with Lever Buster not there, they don't have the peel that they need to keep D-Jox alive. Shocking Light is good at disengaging, but he's not that great at just simply peeling. And without the Emperor's Divide coming out, actually the Emperor's Divide did not come out, there was no real peel for D-Jox. He's his own peeling mechanic unless the Gnar is available.
Yeah, and when Jarvan is able to hit his Flag and Drag combo onto the Azir, there's no reaction time. The Galio and the Yasuo.
You cut out what?
When Jarvan is able to hit the Flag and Drag onto the Azir, there's no reaction time because the Yasuo and the Galio immediately come out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Flag and Drag combo being a knockup, huh? I was just thinking that the hero's entrance was going to be the only way to proc the Yasuo ulti, but okay, that's a good observation, my friend.
Yeah, making some observations here. Continuing on, Yachtweiler not having the best game on this Rammus, 0-5-3 at the moment, but like we said, stacking that armor, waiting to finish some more items.
Unfortunately, if we're continuing the analysis of things not going right for Fire Chickens, we have in the bot lane a full item on Xayah. Frontlash's Xayah is a full item ahead of Hoka. He is Tristana, who is sitting 0-3-0. The difference in gold between these two is almost 3,000 now. As Crumpy fails the explosive cone over the wall, Yachtweiler is trying to make something happen here, but no real follow-up is going to be had. As if you leave Buster, excuse me, looking to use his boomerang blade to try and slow these minions.
Yeah, and meanwhile, General Dill split pushing in that top lane does have the Baron buff and the Iceborne Gauntlet. Gonna take towers decently fast.
Something that I haven't noticed this game, neither team has really, or the series, excuse me, neither team has really prioritized that.
Oh, sorry, you cut out. Prioritize what?
No team has really prioritized the Rift Herald.
Yeah, teams probably did have options in the early game to move on to it, but rather choosing to get these ganks off in the top and bot lane and get their laners ahead.
Well, getting their laners ahead, they have. Jarvan is almost 60 gold ahead now. Granted, he doesn't have his own lane. Excuse me. Oh, the hook lands onto the Rammus, but no follow-up as FU Weaver Buster is getting free procs off of his passive onto Galio, who is not even phased by it. Decides to take the fight, drops Narc to about 200 health as Djox is left to try and defend this tower. The shield from Janna comes down onto the tower. The empowered minions are crashing into the gates of the Fire Chicken's base.
Yeah, and with this Baron buff and all these towers going down, currently a 12k gold lead on the side of
Cathy gets
Ting.
knocked up by the Twister.
Yeah, forced to flash out of that one.
Good reaction from Djox. However, he was on the front line. Had that hook landed, that's a hook you take anytime, by the way. Had that hook landed, Djox is dead, and that's likely at least an inhibitor, probably the game for SKRA. So I agree with Cathy's decision there. You know, it's a sad day that you have to expend the flash, but if you make the hero play there, you're a god to your team. Unfortunately, as support mains, we don't have the opportunity to make all the flashy plays. Nobody really looks to us to carry games. We're just the forgotten, abused, redheaded stepchild mage.
Yeah, and that is mostly true, but Djox here is showing that just because you're a support main, it doesn't mean you have to be dragged and kicking and screaming into these victories by your AD carry. You can rotate to the mid lane, you can go 5-1 with 300 CS at 33 minutes, and you can show some mechanical prowess.
You have me there. I cannot say a word to counter anything that you just said. You have completely bested me. I submit to you, a great senpai. We have in the mid lane Galio looking to push down mid.
Baron buff has expired, so they're gonna back off here. The minion wave falls to Tristana.
There are 4 dragons on the side of SKRA right now. Unfortunately, that is a huge Elder Drake. If you are Fire Chickens, you do not want any part of that.
Yeah, and you have to imagine that Crumpy's still 2 levels up on Jagdweiler. Is not going to make the smite mistake again.
Cathy dropping down to about half health again. Jagdweiler, look. Front Lash is actually 2 levels down on the AD carry. Jagdweiler not really coming up very big on the jungling prowess here. Unfortunately, being just seemed like out-jungled in every way by Crumpy, who was just dinged to level 16, now 3 levels ahead of his opponent. Jagdweiler at level 13 and almost 100 CS. The Flame Horizon has almost been completed. Something interesting to note, Janna has 24 farm. Not sure where she's getting this farm, but I applaud the efforts to farm. General Dill getting poked down. Just kidding, he's actually made of stone. The Sand Soldiers cannot cut through stone. He needs water to cut through that stone, and unfortunately they do not have the Nami to give Djox the ability to cut through. Meanwhile, King is in the bot lane. Prankster King looking to try and make a play for this inhibitor as Cathy is looking to get some vision coverage down.
Yeah, and while Prankster King did have that rough early game, ganked several times by the roams of Shocking Light as well as Jagdweiler coming in and Djox getting those kills, but jumping in.
The flash out of Jagdweiler. The the Feather Storm comes out and the hook lands onto Gnar, who throws 2 against the wall. Cathy goes down and the soldiers are cutting through Crumpy, and the flash out from Gnar, a big fight for the Fire Chicken, showing signs of life the same as they did in game 1. Djox left simply untouched as Rammus is looking to back here actually. Djox is looking to hopefully poke him down. Unfortunately not going to be cutting through that health bar at all. Front Lash is there as well. General Dill actually starting to take damage as Jagdweiler tries to re-engage, is taunted by wow, I can't speak right now. The taunt from Galio is big, but it does not actually allow any real meaningful damage to come out as Gnar has rejoined the fight now. The Rage Gene is about half out as he drops to about half health. There is blood soaking this map. I had a major brain seizure there, and I could not speak for the life of me.
And Front Lash barely surviving that one, does stay alive in the end, but D-Jock's loving that fight, just set up in the jungle corridor, the Jarvan ult, the Cataclysm coming out and allowing him to free hit whoever was inside of it.
Unfortunately, we've got adaptive helms coming out in the pocket, or I shouldn't say the pockets, on the heads of Team SKRA. Not sure that this Azir is going to be able to poke through them as much as he would like. At this point, I think the only thing that he can really do to counteract that is to continue to build the penetration that he has. Probably needs some kind of, maybe a Liandry's Torment to hopefully cut through the penetration, or get the penetration that he needs to deal the damage that he needs against these tanks.
Yeah, and he did opt to go for the Berserker Greaves, so he's going to have that increased attack speed, but will not have the magic penetration, only having the Void Staff.
And if D-Jox is able to get to the back line and blow up front lash, then the tanks who have simply built resistance will not likely pose a threat. Probably can't be killed, but likely won't be able to defend a siege either. However, like I said, and like you said, D-Jox is going to have to try and cut through at least some of these tank lines in order to deal meaningful damage to the rest of Team SKRA.
And Front Lash at this point is 4 items, is going to be able to cut through most of the tank lines. Actually, he hasn't picked up the armor penetration yet, but likely going to be his next item, the Last Whisper, and will be able to cut through the tank lines decently well.
Team Fire Chicken's giving up all pressure over this Baron in order to try and chase down the Galio of General Dill. Is currently engaged in a fight but gets out.
Takes no damage.
Actual summoner spells used, and they take the the Baron for free. Crumpy just taking everything from Jagdweiler, now 3 levels up ahead again over his counterpart. Again, bot lane, we have a full item ahead on Xayah. The tower gold that Gra has assembled is coming up huge for their carries.
Yeah, and a 14k gold lead at the start of that Baron on the side of Tingo SKRA. We'll see if they're able to extend that.
We have Jagdweiler in the back line trying to get a taunt, doesn't actually get anything. D-Jox is trying to poke out. The Windwall stops his soldiers, and he is able to defend the siege. Meanwhile, FU Lever Buster is trying his hardest to defend this tower, or this inhib in the bot lane.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the lack of Ardent Sensor for Front Lash on the Xayah becomes a factor, comparing to this Tristana.
Well, right now, it doesn't seem like Pokahia is putting out as much damage as we would like. Hopefully that once Tristana gets another item and hits critical mass, she's able to deal as much damage as Azir. But oh my goodness, Cathy is blown to bits. Has to pop both of her defensive spells in order to get away from that. FU Lever Buster is trying his hardest to defend. The inhibitor is down to about half health as General Dill is looking to take this by himself. The empowered minions are doing so much work, and the inhibitor falls as they try their hardest to defend top lane, but the top lane tower is likely going to fall too as the Arise comes out, and so does the Galio ultimate. Stand behind Galio. We don't need Shen, we need Galio. The flash taunt in from Galio as big as D-Jox is caught, and the ultimate from
D-Jox and Pokahia are down.
Both carries are down. It is a 3 for naught at this point. It is likely going to be game for Team SKRA.
Yeah, and you can see the pressure just building and building there. FU Lever Buster could not clear out those Baroned up minions, and the inhibitor slowly fell.
He's trying his hardest to be the lone man, the defender of the tower. Actually gets the taunt onto King. King falls to the tower. Never mind, he has so much healing. Okay, he does finally fall. The first tower is taken. Can you do anything to defend this, Lever Buster? Gets the wall up, jumps to safety, and the second tower is not long for the world as Cathy is trying to pad her stats against this Lever Buster Gnar. Good games well played are coming out, and the game falls in favor of Team SKRA.
Yeah, really good team fighting and map control on the side of Team SKRA there. Just able to completely zone Fire Chickens off that Baron. And once they secured that Baron, it was by the books. Sending their top laner down to the bottom lane and the other 4 members to the top lane and forcing down those towers.
It seemed like it was maybe coming together there for Fire Chickens there about the mid game. That seems to be their strong points as a team. But then with Crumpy being so far ahead on this Jarvan, just carrying his team, getting into position so that Galio can enter fabulously into the back line. of the fire chickens and deliver as much punishment as he can. Prankster King actually showing up huge with the lockdown onto Azir. All they needed was the knock up onto Azir, and he was claimed as a casualty. Looking at the damage chart,
Wow.
though, Azir dealing more than his fair share of the damage that game.
Yeah, and the next highest would be the Zaya. What's the name? Frost something.
Zaya's name is
Front
Frostlash.
lash. Front lash. But yeah, he dealt the second
Or
most and
Frontlash,
was
yeah.
10,000 down below the Azir, just showing Djox's amazing output of damage in that game. You could see him chunk out Cathy over and over again in these team fights.
Yeah, Cathy putting up a respectable 3-1-6 on the support pick. That's actually a huge score if you are a support because you're not used to getting Gould. Very beneficial. Crumpy only missing kill participation in one of the kills from his team, coming up with 14. Actually, 2 kills. Excuse me, he missed out on 2 kills. Being the player that totally roamed around the map and ensured that his team was ahead in every lane.
Yeah, excellent map control and pressure there coming out of TGS SKRA, and we're gonna go ahead and get an interview coming in very soon. Do you want to hop over into the interview lounge with me?
Sure.
All right. All right, here we are with Tingo SKRA, who is the team captain, and also Cathy, the Thresh that you just saw. How you doing, Tingo SKRA?
Doing good actually.
Yeah, really good wins picked up both in games 1 and 2. We noticed that the Djox, the Azir in the last game, was a huge issue. How did you guys respond to him getting so fed?
We would I'm actually surprised that we kind of played well because this is actually our first game like all together. We did kind of scrim with a few teams, but our roster wasn't like the full roster that we played now. We were still trying to work out on things like our macro, our micro, and our shot calls because at the moment we actually have like at least 4 of us doing the shot calling. We've managed to work it out.
Whose idea was it to pull out the young Yasuo?
Oh, I actually dared him to play the Yasuo game too, because he was I don't know, he didn't know what to play, so I was like, just go play Yasuo if you want to.
Well, it made for an exciting game to cast, nonetheless. I really like the picks, especially from the likes of Yakvila pulling out the
young Rammus.
pulling out this the Rammus. Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that jungle matchup? Crumpy going really aggressive on the Jarvan early on and able to pressure out the Rammus.
The whole reason why we actually picked him up was because of his playstyle. So we actually had the idea of getting an aggressive jungler and just stomping from there. That was basically it.
Yeah, Crumpy definitely doing a good job on that.
So
go ahead.
Teen goes SKRA. You are C9 Cathy, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so are you the primary shot caller on the team?
Most likely no. It's either Crumpy or General Deal.
Oh, General Deal? Or is it Dill or Deal?
Dill. Sorry.
Dill, okay. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see how Crumpy you was might have been calling the shots. It just seemed like you guys played around him very, very well, especially with his knockups into the synergy for the rest of your team. Him getting General Dill into the back line. Were you afraid of Djox at all in that game too?
I can say that we would be worried if they actually played the map better. Because when we were actually on Baron, they sent 4 for Galio, 4 or 5, and we just when they started making bad decisions, like I guess they swapped their roster for like I don't know what reason, but their first roster in game 1 was actually better and more scary. So we weren't really that worried.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I got one more question for you guys. So Tinga SKRA is new to Phoenix League, actually joining this week during the second week of this season. How do you guys feel about your overall odds in the Pearl League that you're in?
I guess if we could actually match up with possibly the top teams. We just need to have a few games together, because at the moment we're all surprised played well, and our macro is still top notch, even though we were like I guess we only had like 4 games together, including this match. So we're hoping to get a little bit better and then maybe contest the champions, 80 cuties or whatever it is right now.
All right, if you heard that 80 cuties and specifically Cavendish, you have Team Go SKRA coming for you, along with all these other teams being built to take you down.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting for Phoenix League because there are a bunch of new teams that are actually strong right now. So everyone has to prepare, not just us or the top dogs.
All right, anything else, band?
No, nope, that's it for me.
All right, congratulations on your win in your first match here against Fire Chickens, and we will see you next week for your next match.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. All right, stream. Thanks for tuning in. A very exciting series. Team Go SKRA taking down the Fire Chickens 2-0 in some pretty close matches. Fire Chickens showing a lot of signs of life, especially in the mid game, but at the end of the day, unable to out team fight Team Go SKRA.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised at how well they were able to team fight, considering the fact that he just said that was only their 4th game. Simply just showing that they're willing to listen to Crumpy and General Dill, willing to follow what they say and just go with it. Whether or not it works out, it doesn't matter. As long as they're on the same page, it's probably going to work out together.
Yep. Well, that will conclude our stream for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Congratulations once again to Team Go SKRA, and there are many more games coming up this week, so be sure to tune in for those as well.